If humans disappeared, the world would adapt. Nature, patient and unyielding, would stretch back into the spaces we've built, transforming them, erasing us. To understand what a world without us might look like, we don't need to imagine, we just need to look at real places already left behind. Take Varosha, Beelitz, HEILSTÄTTEN, and Rüdersdorf. These haunting relics show us the future that awaits when human hands and voices fall silent. Imagine the once glamorous beach city of Varosha. In the 1970s, it was a bustling paradise on the Mediterranean, where the world's wealthiest travelers arrived for sunlit vacations and unforgettable nights. Each morning, the shoreline buzzed with life, crowded with people strolling along its sandy beaches and sipping drinks under pastel umbrellas. Luxury hotels stood tall and proud, their glass windows gleaming as guests filled the rooms. Balconies overflowed with flowers, and from them, visitors could see turquoise waters stretching out to the horizon. The streets pulsed with energy, alive with laughter and the echo of conversations in a dozen languages. Cafes and shops spilled out onto the sidewalks, their air thick with the scent of fresh bread, strong coffee, and delicate perfumes carried on the breeze. But now, Varosha stands hauntingly silent, frozen in time like a ghost trapped in a mirror. The hotels remain, but they are empty shells, hollow and abandoned. Sand, once kept in check, has crept over the streets and pathways, covering everything in a soft, eerie blanket. The vibrant colors of flowers and signs have faded into gray and brown. The laughter that once filled the air has been replaced by an all-consuming silence. Dust and rust coat every surface, and every corner feels heavy, filled with memories that linger like shadows. Decades of abandonment have left the place eerily intact yet undeniably altered, as if waiting for a return that will never come. If humans vanished, entire cities would look like this, stark reminders of lives once lived, suspended in an unbroken silence. Imagine cities worldwide sharing this eerie fate, where the hum of life has vanished and all that remains are empty structures, memories etched into the dust. Varosha's streets, once meticulously maintained, now carry layers of dust and creeping sand. Cracks snake along the pavement, vines twist through sidewalks, and weeds break through cracks. Winds whip through shattered hotel windows, where guests once stood gazing out over golden beaches and crystal waters. These same winds now howl through empty rooms filled with broken furniture, peeling wallpaper, and debris. Vines push their way inside, coiling around chairs, tables, and chandeliers. Once luxurious halls and ballrooms are filled with a quiet, unrelenting weight, as nature slowly but surely reclaims what humanity had borrowed. Imagine this eerie emptiness spreading across the world, into every city, every town, where every trace of our daily lives turns slowly to dust. The buzzing streets and bright lights would become dark, layered with sand and dirt. Parks once filled with picnics and play would transform into jungles of wild grasses and tangled trees. In Varosha, we see the blueprint for this haunting future, where every sign of human touch is worn down by time, as if the world itself is healing over a scar. Buildings that once sparkled with light, echoing with music and voices, now sit dark, heavy with dust and empty. The silence is thick, almost tangible, broken only by the soft rustle of leaves, the occasional creak of metal, and the lonely howl of the wind. Varosha has become a portrait of the quiet future our world would face, where the essence of human life lingers but fades, overtaken by time and decay. Imagine entire neighborhoods, cities, countries swallowed in this haunting stillness. The vibrance and light we bring to spaces would be lost, and without us to maintain them, even our tallest skyscrapers, busiest plazas, and grandest theaters would stand quietly, slowly eroding, as if waiting to disappear. No laughter, no lights, just an endless expanse of forgotten structures and overgrown plants. And while Varosha was once shielded from the salt and sand of the ocean by our constant upkeep, without human intervention, the sea has begun to claim it back. The salty air bites into metal, corroding railings, stripping paint, and weakening every exposed surface. Once sturdy walls crack and crumble as the pressure mounts from within and without. Windows shatter with each storm. Floors buckle as moisture seeps in, and wood turns soft, inviting new growth. Water from the sea spills into lower floors, pooling where lobby tiles once gleamed. Plants emerge from every crack, reaching toward the sun that shines through broken roofs and shattered glass. Varosha has become both a memory and a warning, a reminder that without us, nature will carry on, indifferent to our absence. In time, the world will erase even our grandest achievements, our brightest creations, our most cherished spaces. In the silence of Varosha, we glimpse a world in which our influence has faded away, and the earth has healed over, covering every last trace of what we left behind. Now let's look at Beelitz HEILSTÄTTEN, a sprawling hospital complex in Germany that has sat abandoned for decades, left to the slow and silent reclamation of nature. In its prime, Beelitz was a place dedicated to saving lives, filled with doctors, nurses, and patients, its halls bustling with the sounds of care and recovery. But now, these same halls are silent, hollow, and still. What remains are vast, empty spaces where the air is thick and heavy, carrying the scent of mildew and dampness. The rain filters in through broken windows and cracked ceilings, pooling on the floors, marking its relentless progress into a place once made secure by human hands. Each room now stands as a testament to time's erasure, an unraveling of every human effort that was poured into this place. Imagine hospitals everywhere, once bustling and sterile, falling to the same fate. Rooms where patients once healed now hold only shadows and dust, with vines and moss creeping steadily across walls and floors. Abandoned beds, chairs, and stretchers lie coated in layers of grime and leaves, slowly being overtaken by the relentless growth of plants. Over the years, as the ceilings weaken and collapse, sunlight floods into once dark spaces, giving life to trees that begin to root on the upper floors and roofs. What were once sturdy rafters and beams are now scattered across rooms, providing fertile ground for the growth of small forests on what remains of the collapsed roof. Each storm that sweeps through this empty place brings new seeds, more growth. On the upper levels, saplings and trees grow steadily, their roots twisting around fragments of ceiling beams and crumbling walls. The slow spread of branches and leaves now serves as a natural canopy, casting soft, dappled shadows onto the floors below. It's a transformation that's both eerie and oddly peaceful, as though the hospital itself is being healed in a way, reclaimed by the very earth it was built upon. At Beelitz HEILSTÄTTEN, every wall, every hallway speaks of time passing and nature advancing. Ivy cascades over window frames, twisting through cracks and slowly spreading across every surface. Shafts of light filter through shattered glass, illuminating dust particles that float in the air, as if the building itself is quietly exhaling. Moss carpets sections of the floor, while vines drape over abandoned beds and empty doorways, blurring the boundary between indoors and out. Where once the hospital was bright and meticulously clean, it is now filled with shadows and growing things, turning what was once a place of healing into a sanctuary for nature itself. In time, these trees and plants grow taller, thicker, expanding throughout the empty spaces, filling in every corner. Each floor, each abandoned room, feels as if it's in the grip of a slow, steady pulse, branches pressing against broken walls, roots stretching deeper into cracks, weaving their way into the fabric of what remains. Beelitz HEILSTÄTTEN has become a living monument. An eerie yet strangely beautiful vision of what a hospital, built to care for human life, looks like when reclaimed by nature's quiet determination. Finally, we arrive at Rüdersdorf, an abandoned factory complex in Germany, where iron and concrete now slowly rust and rot. Here, the silence is heavy. Thick vines drape over machinery that once hummed and roared. Concrete cracks under the weight of new plant life. Nature claws its way into every crevice, reclaiming even the spaces once defined by the power of industry. Though Rüdersdorf is only a small fragment of this vision, it paints a vivid picture. The power of our world would fade, crumbling into a shadow of itself as iron and steel are overtaken by green. If humans disappeared, the earth would endure, would persist, would reclaim. We see the evidence in Varosha's empty hotels, in the haunted halls of Beelitz HEILSTÄTTEN, and in Rüdersdorf's rusting, silent factory. The world, in our absence, would grow wild again. Vines would wrap around skyscrapers. Streets would turn to rivers, and every city would be enveloped in thick, untamed greenery. These places are chilling reminders. If we were gone, nature would quietly erase our presence. Over decades, every trace of our existence would fade into memory, our cities would become forests, and the earth would wear down our concrete until only faint outlines remained. In this eerie silence, the natural world would rise up once more, and our once bustling spaces would become ghostly ruins, leaving only shadows of the life that once was. If you enjoyed exploring this vision of a world without us, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more content just like this. Thank you for watching. And stay tuned for more glimpses into the hidden worlds around us.